I know this is not what I normally do on my channel, but I wanted to talk about this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef and let you know why it's an agenda. This is an agenda for one reason. It's to promote the Antichrist society. Ooh, did you think that that was possible? Something that could be of it? This beef is nothing but an attempt to promote the Antichrist beast system. Both of these guys that are in this quote unquote beef have been initiated into the cabal. That's the reason why they're able to get to the plateaus and the statuses that they are in right now. They're influencers. So they're people that their words will influence the masses. Now, if the people that control the influencers have an agenda, then the influencers cannot go above or go beyond or go in another direction other than the direction that the influencer, the major people want them to go in. Those that sign their paychecks, those that have given them this fame. It's basically like Satan saying, "I'll take you up to the mountain, and if you bow down to me, then you will be able to have anything that you desire." So these people that are rappers, that are influencers, these Hollywood elites, these people that we see on our television screens, they're basically playing a role. Even though a lot of us may think that Kendrick Lamar is on the side of the people and he's airing out Drake, telling the people about all these things that Drake is doing in his personal life with the pedo stuff, and saying that Drake, of course, has other kids, which a lot of other people have other kids that they don't want people to know about. Even though that's the main idea that people are actually thinking that this thing is about, the major thing is this. Let me tell you, this is the time of judgment. This is the time that God is judging the world. He's trying to see who is going to be his people and who's not going to be his people. Now, if you are a person that says, okay, well, I'm listening to this Drake track or this Kendrick track, and Kendrick is saying that Drake is a pedo and he's doing all of these nefarious, evil things with younger people, and you continually listen to his music, if you continually listen to Drake's music after hearing somebody say that Drake is participating in pedo type situations, and his people, his team that is participating in these things, you are implicit because you are actually supporting the person that someone else is saying is in indulging in these actions, right? Right? Now, of course, we've heard many of Kendrick's tracks. We've heard "If Euphoria," we've heard 616, we've heard, of course, Meet the Grams, we've heard Not Like Us, we've heard these tracks. Now, all of these tracks, a lot of people that don't like Drake, that feel like he's been on maybe on top too long, and they maybe feel like, he's always been fake. He's always been some poser that's trying to act like he's something he's not. He's mixed breed, and he's somebody that he doesn't really tap into the culture because he is mixed breed. They're possibly going after Drake because they want to see an end to his reign. That's one level of it. They want to see an end to Drake's reign. So they'll say, okay, well, no, that was a hot line that Kendrick spoke. But they're paying attention to things that really don't mean much. They're paying attention to the things in Kendrick's song that talks about, and I'm not saying it doesn't mean much not to have a child and lie about not having a child, right? But when they say stuff like when Kendrick says stuff like Drake is a pedo, and then people just say, oh, well, that was a hot line. He's saying Drake is a pedo, but then they continue to listen to Drake's music, or they continue to support him and say, oh, well, maybe this is not this or not that, but they continue to support him. They bump his stuff. You are now implicit in the agenda of the satanic elite. What the satanic elite wants to do is this. Listen to me. They get their money and their power by pledging allegiance to Satan. And I know by saying the word Satan, a lot of you will probably turn off right now because you're not hip to what the spiritual game is. The whole world is a spiritual game to see who's God's and who's Satan's. So then if you say, okay, well, Drake is someone being someone that is allegations are being put against him saying he's a pedo, and you still bump Drake's music, you are implicit. Now that means that you are supporting Drake's lifestyle because you're supporting him, right? So that's going to be on your record. The satanic elite want to create the antichrist society where everything that we do which is not of God is accepted. So when this whole thing, Drake and also, this is what I believe, Drake and also Kendrick, also Cat Williams, also all of these Hollywood bigwigs that have this bully pulpit to shape the minds of the people on social media, they're coming out with this so-called truth, telling you about what's really going on in Hollywood, going on in the world, the pedo stuff, all the trafficking, all of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most people don't think about. They're telling you this stuff is happening, but then you're not taking it seriously. You're taking it as this is some sort of like, oh, they're just trying to boost up the hip hop community. They're just trying to be jiggy. They're just trying to be trying to make their money. They're telling you what they're doing right in front of your face. It's the truth in plain sight. But then you will still allow these people to influence your life by supporting them, listening to their streams, making comments in the YouTube section, talking about how you like this artist and you like this artist. When Drake said that Kendrick Lamar was beating his wife. Drake said Kendrick Lamar was doing all these things, but then you're on Kendrick's side. Kendrick saying that Drake is a pedo and that he is having relationships with underage children. But then you listen to the beat and you listen to the rhyme scheme and the patterns and the double on, triple entendres, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And Drake lost because Kendrick, his wordplay is so great, his flow is so great, the beat is so great, but you're missing the message. And they're telling you the message. They're telling you that this world is corrupt, that this world is completely on the dark side, right? So listen, time out, pause. So they're telling you everything they're doing, but you're still supporting them, which makes you implicit, which means that you have a part of their judgment because you are propping these people up that are guilty. So listen, they don't care. They've made sacrifices to Satan with their lives, with their souls, to get to the places that they have gotten to make the money that they have gotten. They have the bully pulpit to be able to speak a message and have it spewed out to the millions. So they're basically saying, okay, it's not about money. This is what the industry is saying, the music industry. It's not about money anymore. We get our power from Satan. I know it sounds weird. We get our power from Satan. So now, in order for us to get more power and to stay in the power, we got to get the masses to get behind the agenda. The agenda is do as you will. The agenda is do as you will. So if these artists are telling you they're pedos, they're telling you they beat their spouses, they're telling you they use drugs and go and pop pills and do all these evil things, and you stay with them and keep listening to them and keep watching these reactor videos that are like, oh, that was a tight line right there. Oh, he's talking about beating his wife. Oh, that was a tight line right there. He's talking about popping pills. Oh, that was a tight line right there. He's talking about him. He's talking about A minor. When Kendrick said in Euphoria, he said, oh, or in Not Like Us, he says, oh, you're probably being a widow. He says, I know you like him young, but it's probably A minor. A minor means like he's having relationships, not right relationships with someone that is a minor. And you're not thinking about the line. You're not thinking about the repercussions of what he said. You're thinking about how hot a line it was. So then you support them, and then you say, oh yeah, you go and you look on the websites, it talks about who won, Kendrick or Lamar. Kendrick or Drake, and you say, oh, Kendrick won because of this line, or Kendrick won, you are supporting it. You are writing your name as in heaven, because heaven makes a record of all of our thoughts. Heaven makes a record of everything we say and everything we do. So when you go on these websites and you support either one of these artists, you are taking a side. So every message that they said, you are agreeing with unknowingly. Now you will now be held accountable by God. They know that the music industry, these higher ups that control the music industry, they know that the game is souls. That's how they stay in power. That's why these people, that's why Drake, that they said that his house was, they shot up his house in a drive-by. That was all fabricated. They did that, but it was all as a sacrifice to Satan. The person that got hit maybe passed away. I don't know his status yet. But that person, if he did pass away, was nothing but a sacrifice. They weren't going to touch the main artist because they make too much money for the record companies. There's even been a story that's just come out that the record company's UGM told Kendrick that he had to stop saying what he was saying about Drake being a pedo, because basically it was costing all of Drake's supporters, all of his affiliates, money. So Nike, those that support Drake, NHL, NBA, NFL, all of these, if you have an artist that you make a whole bunch of money with, and that artist is being incriminated as being a pedo, then they're not going to want to have dealings with you, and then that company will lose money. So then they just basically just now had a conversation or a meeting with Drake, with Kendrick, saying that you have to stop, cease and desist, saying that these things are true about Drake, saying that he is a pedo, saying that he is doing these things, because if you don't, we're going to lose money. And guess what happens if these major companies that have no souls, that are the true satanic elite, the ones that are above, signing these people's checks, signing Drake's checks, signing Kendrick's checks, what do you think happens when they lose money? They will now get rid of the artist that is not trying to play ball. Pac didn't play ball. He made that Hit 'Em Up track. Biggie was big coming up. He made Hit 'Em Up, which is going to basically take away the viewers and the money from Biggie. So now Pac, they told him to stop, and he just kept. But when he made that Hit 'Em Up track, it's like, okay, you're going to take money away from us, from another artist that we are making a whole bunch of money with. Got rid of him. That's why. It was the record companies and the music industry and all of these satanic elite that got rid of Biggie. It wasn't no gang stuff that got rid of Biggie, because even the gangs are compromised by the higher-ups and the satanic elite. That's why the gangs can operate with the artist. And every time an artist comes to a certain place, like they come to LA, they come to New York, you got to check in with the gangs, so that you have to, basically they check in to give them money to protect them. Because listen, here's the thing you guys don't know. They're operating with spirits. The spirits tell and direct the people, the temples, the people, of what to do. So now these people that have these spirits in them, because they serve the fallen one, they do evil in the world to get money. Money is their God. Money is the root of all evil. The spirit tells them when it's okay for them to go touch somebody. It's not about, and the spirit tells the people that are in the higher ups in the record companies and the industries, it's okay to touch that person because they're going against our agenda. They're not stopping. They're doing something we don't want them to do. We want to control the masses for Satan's kingdom. This is what the higher ups say, because they do seances, rituals. They pray to demonic spirits and fallen angels, deities. The deities say this is not following the agenda of Satan. So what we need to do now is either take that person out or let that person live. But we let them live if they follow our agenda. Pac didn't follow that agenda no more. He was not supposed to make it.
Well, this is a pretty big moment. We're in Los Angeles for Game 5 of the 2010 Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. The game and the series are tied for now. With 3 seconds left, LA's got one last chance to win in regulation and go up 3-2. Mess up, and Phoenix might steal a huge road victory. This is a massive shot, and everyone in this building knows who's going to take it. Before we see that, let's take the temperature of the room. How's everyone feeling? Kinda terrible, it turns out. Let's rewind. Someone who has never seen basketball could still deduce that this guy being chased by multiple defenders